What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Loud Bostonian. Today, we're going to be jumping right into that first episode of The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is obviously the first live-action Star Wars series that has ever been, and it just dropped on Disney Plus today. Disney Plus, huge shout-out to you guys. I am a big fan of what you guys are offering. Not that I wouldn't have been anyways, but the pure volume of nostalgic Disney content you have on there is phenomenal, and it's going to be amazing for me to show my kids all this cool stuff that I grew up with. It honestly even dates me. Like I don't know if Swiss Family Robinson's on there right now, but the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and like the old school Robin Hood with the fox and the bears and all that shit. My kids have never seen that, so I can't wait to show them these kinds of movies. So I'm very excited for that fact that those are all available on there right now. Not to mention the countless hours of classic cartoons that I grew up with. Gargoyles is on there, Darkwing Duck, all this cool stuff that from my childhood that I can't wait to share with my children and, honestly just rewatch for myself. So Disney Plus is off to a great start. Now, The Mandalorian, first live-action Star Wars series. I was very excited about this from the first moment that they mentioned it. Jon Favreau producing it, putting it all together, writing the stories, all that stuff. Fucking awesome choice. Dave Filoni, the guy that does Rebels and a lot of the Clone Wars, great choice as a director for the first episode, and he does one more, I think, during the season. And all the other guest directors they've assigned, I'm ecstatic to see what the show does. Casting choices seem phenomenal too, right off the bat. Pedro Pascal, I don't really know how to pronounce his last name. I want to say Pasquale. Pedro Pascal, big fan of his. Loved him in Game of Thrones. Loved him in that Netflix movie with the Ben Affleck and Charlie Hunnam, whatever the fuck that one was called, where they robbed the cartel guy. I liked him in that one too. So I'm a big Pedro Pascal fan, and I think that they really nailed him in this movie. I thought he was, in the show rather, he's perfect casting for this character, the Mandalorian, title character. Not a lot is known about the Mandalorian as far as, the live action movies go, other than, the Jango Fett and Boba Fett were Mandalorian born. That's pretty much the only tie-ins the live action gives you. The shows dive into it a lot more. This is going to be a non-spoiler review, except for the very end. I am going to jump into a little bit of spoiler territory, because there's really only one thing to spoil in this first episode, and it's a fucking doozy. So I want to make sure that everybody, you can watch this video right to the end. I'll give you fair warning before I talk about the one thing I want to talk about, spoilery. But overall, the vibe of the show was great. I was hooked from frame one. There's an overshot of the shoulder where it's like a snowy planet, and he's basically on his the Mandalorian is on his first bounty that you get to see him go into. For those of you who don't know what Mandalorians are, a lot of them fall in the bounty hunter trade. Mandalore is a planet full of brave warriors who, in the old Republic, maybe even before the old Republic, started donning body armor as a way to better suit themselves in battle against Force users who they had never come across before. So it's pretty cool history that they have there. But yeah, most of them fall into the bounty hunter trade, as you could see with Jango Fett, Boba Fett, and now obviously the Mandalorian, whose name we don't know, at least via the first episode, but he's just going to be called the Mandalorian. So right at the bat, the action was cool, the settings were cool. You know where all the money went in the show, because it is beautiful, stunning, gorgeous visual effects, awesome set designs, crazy practical effects, like the aliens moving. Honestly, it might even be, I want to say better than movie quality, but maybe it's just because I expect better quality in movies and less in a TV show. So to see the quality of the aliens was really cool. The dialogue was great. I think Pedro Pascal's character, he actually had a lot more dialogue than I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be one of those really silent type characters who, will have his moments where he will talk and progress the story via dialogue. But no, he had a lot of dialogue, and Carl Weathers is in this episode as his handler. I forget his name, but he seems pretty good. I didn't think I needed Carl Weathers in Star Wars as much as I now do, but he was great, and I can't wait to see more of him. Werner Herzog, I believe is the character's name. You guys know him. Greatest voice in the business as the client. He's going to have an interesting role the rest of this series. I can't wait to see that. Taika Waititi makes his appearance as IG-11, which is an IG droid. Those of you who follow Star Wars know IG-88 is a classic hitman droid or bounty hunter droid that is well known in the Star Wars lore. This is just another IG droid, IG-11. He was great. I thought he was fantastic. The overall plot of the show is obviously he's going on these bounties, specifically one set up by the client, Werner Herzog, who he... that's going to be the basically main arch of the show throughout the rest of the season is going to be this one bounty, I believe, that he's going to be going on. So I thought it was fantastic. And like I said, I was hooked from shot one. Plenty of cool things. And you know what? The Mandalorian, the character himself, he doesn't play necessarily the hero character. So I like that they're not immediately throwing in your face that he's this hero character. Because I think everybody who is going to watch the show is going to obviously realize this character is going to be a dark hero, if you will, or an anti-hero. So, but yeah, so they definitely show you that he's not necessarily some guy you want to fuck with the way that he kind of handles his business. You see him do a few bounties in the first episode, and as a result of that, you know you don't want to screw around with him. But I thought it was great. It is such staple Star Wars, such good throwbacks to things that you see in in a lot of other Star Wars shows and movies, and I loved it, guys. I was hooked. Like I said, from frame rate one, or first frame rather. So I want to know what you guys think about The Mandalorian now before I jump into the spoilery territory here, but I thought it was fantastic. I can't wait to see the next episode. I think it drops on Friday, which is cool to get 2 this week, but I mean, I'm ecstatic about it, guys. This is the kind of Star Wars shit that I've been waiting for. So between this and the Fallen Order coming out this week, it's literally a great week for Star Wars. So I'm ecstatic about it. Let me know what you thought of the Mandalorian, and if you can't wait to see more like me. All right, but now I'm going to jump into the spoiler territory, guys. So I'm giving you that full warning right there. It's a spoiler discussion from this point forward. So, as I had previously addressed, he goes on a mission for the client, Werner Herzog, and I got to tell you, I love that IG-11 showed up and started clearing house. He kicked so much ass. And then the two of them kind of just go into that room after they killed all these mercenaries that have this mark that they're going for. And wouldn't you know what it is? Inside a little egg thing that opens up is a baby fucking Yoda. Now, I know Yoda's not the species term, to the best of my knowledge and the best of the research that I've done. Nobody knows what Yoda's species is actually called. In fact, aside from Yoda, I don't know if anyone's even never fucking seen one. So this is a baby Yoda, and IG-11 says, well, we've been contracted to kill it, and he gets ready to kill it, and then the Mandalorian shoots him in the head. And then the last shot in the movie is the Mandalorian puts his little finger out, and the little baby Yoda is reaching for it. Now, I don't know about you, but talk about your goddamn cliffhangers from the first episode. I mean, what the hell? Clearly, if I was a betting man, and I have made a few bad gambles in my day, but I gotta tell you, if I was a betting man, I would wager that the Mandalorian does not hand over the baby Yoda to the Imperials. So I am gonna go ahead and say that is gonna be the overlying rest of this first season, is probably the Mandalorian making an escape with this baby Yoda and trying to get it either in the hands of the rebellion or in the hands of its own people, if that's even something they could find. But and I'm going to wager that probably Werner Herzog or the Imperials are after the baby Yoda because they think it might be force sensitive, like Yoda was, or I don't know if it's inherent in the whatever Yoda's species is that they are force sensitive, but it's fucking crazy, guys. It is crazy times. It is awesome times. I love The Mandalorian. All right, if you stuck around this far, you already got my spiel about the comments and liking the video. Feel free to go ahead and do that, guys. I'll be back every week to discuss the next episode of The Mandalorian. Hopefully I can have my wife, who watched the first episode with me, come down and do a couple of these with me, but honestly, she wasn't too thrilled by it, so I think it's probably going to be a solo kind of review thing going on for The Mandalorian. But I loved it. I want to know what you guys think, so like I said, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you thought of The Mandalorian, and we'll see you next week.